All right, folks. In this particular one, uh, nothing new as far as what we are using, but we're going to be using it in a different way for sure. So I'm using a repeat. So that means do all this code and then repeat it over and over again, this section. I said 8 times. I played around with this just before I started recording. I think 8 will do it. I did 6 and it wasn't enough. And just like you will have to do, I'm playing around with it a bit because, I'm not doing like all the math in advance because what we're doing right now is pretty advanced. So, for example, like if I said to make your robot draw that, you know, I think the math behind it's pretty complex and it'd be tough to do in advance, and that's beyond the scope of this class. Um, however, um, let's see what this does. It's going to drive forward and then it's going to turn right 140 degrees. All that's doing is driving me forward and then turning me a little bit at an angle to get me started because it starts right in the middle of the map and that's no good. So I don't want it to start right in the middle of the map. I want it to start up on the top somewhere. So that's what that does. Then I get the pen going and I get the pen down to start drawing. Then it does this over and over again, and you'll see what it does here in a minute. So first, like I said, it's just going forward to get us up to the top of the map, then turns us at an angle, then sets those pen colors, and now it's going forward 900. It's going to turn not a perfect 90, it turns 80, and then goes forward 80, and then goes and repeats that 900, turns those 80 degrees each time, draws this 900 millimeter line, turns not quite 90 each time, so that it's not a full 180 turn. It's kind of like not a perfect turn. And you don't want it to be because you want it to be offset over and over again. So I'm doing this, and I think this kind of completes. I'm hoping last time it didn't complete it. Let's see if this will complete it. I don't know how many times it's gone already. I haven't been counting, but I'm hoping 8 does it. Let's see here. Nope. So I need to go forward one more time, I think. So for whatever reason, 9 seems to be to do the trick. And I'm just going to verify that before I get going because I want to make sure that it does complete it because it's going to look not as pretty if I get it doing, not quite completing a whole spiral. Now yours is going to be more complex than mine, and you'll see why. Because you're going to get yours going really crazy. And and definitely make yours different than what I'm doing here. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I was gonna try to make it. I was gonna try to make it turn and draw, but I'm not sure how to do that. Turn to rotation. It might be turn to rotation or play with some of these right here, down here on the left side, where it says turn heading 90 degrees, turn to rotation. I don't know. You can experiment with those. Drive velocity, the turn velocity. Maybe this one right here. That's how fast it turns. Not sure. Here it is. Let's see if that's the 9th one. Yeah, that's it. That completed it. Okay, so 9 turns completes my thing and gets that going. Now, what I wanted to do is if I keep going, then it just draws over what I just did, and I don't want to do that. So I have an idea. And tell me what you guys think of this one. It depends how complex you get this, but I'm gonna create a variable and make a variable, and I'm just gonna call it angle change. Just that's it. You'll see why here in a minute. So you can call it whatever you want. I'm gonna call it angle change, and or actually, let me see if I can delete this. Oh, rename it. There we go. I'm gonna call it my angle. I don't think you can call it angle because sometimes if it's something already that exists, it won't let you do that. So I'm going to say my angle. And then when it says turn degrees, it's 80, right? Right here. And this one's supposed to be 80. So what I'm going to do is purposely set my angle at the very beginning before it even gets in there to 80 because that's what I wanted. So this is going to do exactly the same thing. I'm not going to push play because it's going to do exactly the same thing. It sets it to 80 and then turns 80 and turns 80 degrees. This is where it changes a lot. I'm going to go to controls and then I'm going to do a repeat. Where is it? There is repeat right here. I'm going to repeat this 9 times. That seemed to be doing it. Although I don't know if 9 times will do it again with this new angle. But um, then I'm going to, oh, in between, I want to go back to my variables. Where is it? Variables. And I'm going to change my variable by 5 degrees should do it. I'm going to try just 2 for fun here and see what that does. And then, and pretty much, actually, I'm just going to repeat this, duplicate. I'm just going to duplicate this whole section. So I notice I still have this down there. I can throw that away. So it's going to repeat it. It's just going to repeat it with the new angles, like slightly different angles, if you notice. So it's just doing what we did before, but it's going to add a little bit to those angles. Instead of 80, it's going to be 82, and it's going to redo it. And I imagine if we do this enough times, let's see what happens here. Refresh, push play, and let's just give this a minute. And feel free to forward this video. I'm not going to pause it because then I have to edit, and I'm not going to edit this video. You can forward your video. So let's watch it go 9 times. I think it's done it. I don't know, once, twice, 3, 4, 5. I think this will be the 6th time right here. And here's the 7th time. And the 8th time right here. And then the 9th time right here. Here's the 9th time right there. And that's it. And then it's going to turn, but now it's going to turn at a weird angle. Oh, it didn't do it quite when I wanted to. I wanted to do it over there, but here it goes. Here's the slight offset. So it's the new angle changed by 2 degrees. And it does look a little messy right now, but I think once it completes a loop, it'll look a little nicer, I think. I'm hoping. Because it's like half done, so it doesn't look perfect right now. Wait. That's it? Yeah, that's not done. Well, you can see we're playing with it work. So right now I would increase this by another 1. I don't know if I have to keep increasing these numbers as well. These repeats, I'm not sure. But you can tell, you can start getting some pretty patterns going. And how do you get patterns? You do things over and over again, right? That's literally what pattern means. So if you look, this is a pattern. It does this 9 times. It just kind of goes and then moves at a weird angle. Now notice that my angles are at 80, right? I did that on purpose. If it did 90, it would go and then turn 90, then turn 90 again. It would be right back to where it started. We don't want that. I want it to be not quite 90. So you can do 80, 85, whatever you want. Now I did 80 and I needed to do 9 times to get it to complete. If you did some other number, you have to change how many times it repeats. I probably have to do a mathematical formula so that every time I change this number right here, this angle, when I change it, I'm also going to have to change how much it repeats. So I'll have to have 2 variables, and when I change one, I change the other one. I got to find out how these are related. I'm, thinking in my head right now, and I'm not 100% sure. I'm short by 10 degrees, 9. It looks like maybe, I know I'm short by 10 degrees here, and if I do, from the 90 right here, that 80 is short by 10 degrees, and then times 9, that makes 180. So maybe the number I need is 180. So if you take the difference of this to 90, which is 10, and you times it by that times 9, that's 90. Sorry, that's 90. Right? 10 times 9, so that's 90. So maybe that's the number we need. So for example, if I go here, calculator, and I need that number 90, right? Well, when I increased it by 2, the difference was 8, so divided by 8 is equal to, and it's like some weird number of things. It's not quite an exact number. So maybe we should increase it by 5 or something like that. So let's try this, 75. And I'm going to do this by 9 right here. Oops, 75, that's 15. 15 times, I got to figure out how many times I need to rotate it now. I think I'll need to do it 90 divided by 15. I think I only need to do it 6 times now. Let's see if I'm right. We can figure that out right now if I'm right. 6. So let's see. Stop. So maybe I only need to do it 6 times. Oops, let me push play. And maybe doing it 6 times will do it if my mathematical formula I just came up in my head works. Let's see. If that's true, then that's a pretty sweet gig, and I can sit there and change those all. And then I can have a really good pattern going on and on and on. I think I might be right. These are a little wider turns, so it's going to complete the full circle faster. Yeah. So I do like this. I'm pretty sure I'm right. Oh, maybe it's +1 though. It's the number I'm looking for, +1. Let's see, it was 8 was 80. I had to do it 9 times before. I think I also know why I'm off as well. I think the reason I'm off is that original turn right here. I'm going to try this real quick. I'm going to put my turns first. So right turn right here. So the moving is at the end. Let's see if that helps a little bit. And I'm going to keep that 7. Let's see. I think we're going to need 8 turns no matter what. So every time I drop by 5, oops, reset. Every time I drop by 5, it looks like it's a whole turn for whatever reason. So, oops, I didn't connect these. So in other words, every time I change my main angle that I turn by 5 degrees, that my repeat has to change by 1. So that's what it looks like to me. But let's see here. And let's see what if it's better now that I took off that turn at the very beginning. I might have just got really lucky that first time I did it, because it came out really nice that first time I did it. Let's see, it's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 6. And here's 7. Hey, maybe it'll never connect. Maybe you could just do this forever. I'll try that one out. But anyway, you guys make your pattern however you like, but make a nice pattern that's nice and full. That's all you gotta do.